Welcome back, everyone, to yet another college basketball conference tournament preview. I'm your host, the big man on campus, continuing my grind through the college basketball conference tournament season, going through every conference, giving a couple picks for my winners, my sleepers, and hopefully trying to cash some tickets. Done a nice job so far throughout. We had some losers, but I've had some big tickets cashed. I cashed with Michigan. I cashed with Radford. I've cashed with, I had Loyola. It wasn't a big future, but an easy one. Have some other ones that are still looking pretty good as well. So we'll continue to follow those and hopefully dish out more winners. A lot of tournaments coming up this week as we find our way to the NCAA Tournament Selection Show on Sunday. Today is March 5th, 2018. You got two conferences getting going today. Then tomorrow, that's when all the conferences kind of get going. And then the next over a couple of days. We'll start today with the MAC, the Mid-American Conference, the MAC. Known more for their football, but is an interesting conference, which we'll try to find some value today in it. Obviously the favorite's Buffalo at right around plus 130, plus 125, the clear favorite. Now, when you have a 12-team league at plus 125, it's not a great price. I mean, Buffalo's obviously going to have to navigate some tough teams. This is a fairly even conference throughout. I don't think there's any terrible basketball teams here. Northern Illinois is not great or teams like that. But, I think Buffalo is going to get tested right out of the gate, whether I'd imagine it's Central Michigan. Central Michigan tested them at times this year. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. Central Michigan's tough because they are one team that is fairly good offensively and defensively. Keno Davis's team has really improved themselves on the defensive end, and they make 81% of their free throws. So they're never really out of a game. They're always going to fight. I remember in the one of the games Buffalo played this year against Central Michigan, there was, I think, 70 points in the final 8 or 9 minutes. Central Michigan just kept hitting shots late. They had to really grind that game out, did Buffalo. So, I don't think Central Michigan is just going to be a total flyer. But look, the Bulls have to be your favorite. They're going to be a pick that I'm going to make in this conference. Obviously, what I've done is I've bet a unit on my favorite, and then I've bet smaller on the sleeper that I have. So, I take Michigan at like a half unit. I take, the littler ones at a half unit. So we're getting nice payouts that are kind of making, paying for the future. And then, in certain situations, like in the NEC final, which is, I believe, Tuesday, I have both Wagner and LIU Brooklyn as future. So I don't have to hedge at all. I can watch the game, enjoy it. If Wagner wins, I win money. If LIU wins, I win a lot of money. So I'm sitting in a nice spot with some of these. And my goal is really to pick both teams that get to the final. And then I'm sitting pretty, as you will, and I'll root for the dog. If it loses, I'll still make money with the fave. So Buffalo will be a pick. And look, I mean, they're so balanced offensively. I mean, 85 points a game, 6th in the country. They're 14-3 in conference, and they were on a run at one point where they had, I believe, won 10 straight in conference. So, they're not really – they're coming into this tournament, slipping a little bit. They haven't had, the dominating success they had before. But, they're really just dynamic. I mean, whether it's Masonburg or Perkins or Wes Clark, they're really well coached. They're really good against the number for the most part. And, look, they've taken care of business. The Central Michigan team's intriguing just because of what I said, how they can stay in games. Plus, I do think they have an emotional edge a bit. They will host a game tonight, obviously in Mount Pleasant. I'm sure it'll be poignant there, senior night. That's really, I think, going to propel them to this next game. But this is an interesting conference because, guys, as you know, after the first round, they actually all go to Cleveland at that point, and the rest of the tournament's in Cleveland. So Buffalo, I'll take at plus 130. They'll be my pick to win. As far as a sleeper that I'll also kind of take, I was up and down through this, but I think Toledo in the bottom of the bracket, I think they're really dynamic under Todd Kowalczyk. They have two bigs, Trayshawn Alexander and Nate Navigado, that are really dynamic players. They really kind of run their offense through them. They had been fantastic defensively all year, but I'm going to go with a bit of a deeper sleeper. It kind of just sucks the way this is all figured out, but if they're able to knock off Buffalo, I'm going to kind of ride them the whole way. I'm going to take Kent State at plus 1350. I think if I'm looking at a deep sleeper, they have to be my pick. I don't really trust any of the other teams that are way down. Kent State's a 5 seed. They'd get Ball State in the next round. I think a beatable opponent. They have the luxury of having two great guards in Jalen Walker and Jalen Avery. And then they have Kevin Zabo, who came over from San Diego State, that gives them another guard option. And then they have De La Rosa and Pippen on the block. Pippen kind of that tweener 3 or 4. De La Rosa more of a big. He's not Jimmy Hall like last year, but this is a more balanced team than they had last year. And I think they're a team that can make a run. You've seen this happen. They did it last year. Kent State made a run and won this tournament, beating some real good opponents along the way. They're going to have to win 4 games in 5 days basically. But if any team can do it, I think it's Kent at 13.5 to 1. I think that's worth the small play. My main play, though, I got to go with Buffalo. You just look at the dominance they've had in this conference all year. It's hard to go against this team, especially with so many great players. I'll go Buffalo plus 130 to win the conference. I'll have a smaller play on Kent State. They knock off Buffalo. We'll ride them to the final, hopefully. Everyone have a great night. Hopefully you enjoyed the preview of the MAC. Not a conference I love. I don't bet much. If you ask me my least favorite conference, it'd probably be the MAC. I just don't think there's a ton of difference between any of these teams. They're all fairly the same. It's a fairly block conference in football as well. Just anything can happen. So I kind of look at it like the horizon, but I'm doing every conference, and I made it a point to go over everyone. So we'll go with those two, Buffalo and Kent State. Hopefully Buffalo can have an easy time, and we don't have to really worry about it. Other than that, have a great day. I also have another preview today. We'll be doing the MAC conference, a really interesting conference where you have 5 or 6 teams that could win it. So we'll look forward to chatting about that a little later. Everyone have a great night. I am the Big Man on Campus. Hope you enjoyed today's MAC preview. Hit the like, subscribe, comment buttons. Let me know what you think. Support the channel. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.